looking at each death in probably the most famous gang war of modern times. OBlock, or as it was originally called, Wick City, is a black disciple set based in Parkway Gardens. A 3-minute walk from Parkway is 63rd and St. Lawrence. This street makes up some of the territory controlled by STLEBT, or as they would later be called, Tookaville, a gangster disciple set. Swiper, an affiliate of STL, said the gangs initially got into it in 2010. This was due to a girl dating an OBlock member and STL member at the same time. Originally the beef was only fistfights, but they quickly turned to shootings as the members got older, and it wasn't long before the first death came. The 8th of August 2011 was the day the recently deceased Tooka would have turned 16. Because of this, Tookaville members, along with sets that are close to Tookaville like Jaro City and Mob, were throwing a party on the block in Tooka's honour and filming a music video for an FBG Duck song. Later that night, little more than 2 blocks away, CCTV footage captures Odee Perry, a Wick City member, cycling. 2 minutes after, DJ, a Jaro City member, can be seen walking from the direction Odee went. It's been suggested that DJ rang people still at the party to give them Odee's location. Regardless of whether DJ dropped his location or not, a few minutes later a group of members at the party got in a car and drove to Parkway Gardens. Outside they spotted Odee Perry and his friends. 2 men hopped out of the car and started shooting. Odee was struck and killed. Footage from just after the incident shows OBlock members grieving as they see Odee's body. Wick City was renamed OBlock in his honour. Who the 2 shooters were is one of the biggest mysteries in the Chicago drill scene. One of the most likely suspects is a man named Main, an STL member. Odee's mother told police she heard he was responsible. Main was also on the block that night. In this photo, he's the guy facing away from the camera. Dissing and tweets make one thing clear though. At least one of the shooters was an STLEBT member.
Hey, you hear me? On Tooka, we infinite. OBlock. What else?
Nigga who made the O. Yeah, I bet my neighbors know.
What? They still ain't thank us for infinite OBlock.
Boy, phone call that boy and break them off the bike like that boy. Oh.
This means Odee's death was the first in the brutal war between Tookaville and OBlock. Patoon, like Odee, was another beloved OBlock member. 2 months after the death of Odee, a group of OBlock members were chatting near the entrance to one of the buildings inside the gates of Parkway Gardens. Suddenly, they began to be shot at. Police documents describe how Lil B, a Tookaville member, and another man, allegedly a mob member, came inside the gates of OBlock to kill a rival. First, they shot a member named Oogie in the face. Patoon, hearing the shots, ran outside, but the 2 attackers then began shooting him. Patoon fell, and the men stood over him and shot him in the head. Incredibly, Oogie survived, but sadly, Patoon wasn't so lucky.
Man, that was one of the first times them niggas was on our block actually trying to do that, bro. And it was a scary, scary, scary sight.
The last murder of 2011 was the murder of Dale, an STLEBT affiliate. Police or gang members have never confirmed what set was responsible. For that reason, I'll only be discussing it briefly. Dale was 16 years old when he was killed at the beginning of December 2011. Multiple sets, including OBlock, have claimed responsibility, but it is unclear who really killed Dale. On the 16th of February 2012, Sheroid, an OBlock member, was walking just outside OBlock when a red beam began to shine on him. Seconds later, he was shot once in the head and killed. Immediately after this, 3 offenders on the other side of the street began to flee. The man who pulled the trigger was Bosstrell, an STLEBT member. Trell and other STL members often subtly sneak dissed Sheroid on Twitter. FBG Cash later confirmed in a song Bosstrell was responsible. Lil Daryl, a Jaro City member, also told police after Trell died that he was there when Trell killed Sheroid. Despite what many believe, Bosstrell's death was not a part of this feud. Instead, he was killed in a dispute over a gun. At 8:43 p.m. on the 13th of October 2012, King Von tweeted that he was bored. Around 50 minutes later, Modell, a Tookaville member, was on the block talking with friends when he was approached by none other than Von. Von shot him several times in the chest before Modell's cousin, Miles, who had no gang affiliation, began hugging Miles to shield him from the bullets. But Von kept shooting, now hitting Miles, before running away on foot. Sadly, Miles' heroic efforts weren't enough and Modell died. Miles himself was left paralysed. The police confirmed after Von's death that he was the one responsible. This makes Modell another victim of the war between OBlock and Tookaville. J Money was one of OBlock's most respected members. He was very close with OTF and Lil Durk in particular. In September 2013, J Money was with Edogg and Prince Dre, two other OBlock members, on 66th and Rhodes to do laundry. Little did they know they had been followed by Lil B, an STLEBT member. While J Money was loading his laundry into his car, Lil B crept through a gangway and began firing. J Money was struck and fell, but got back up and began to run. Sadly, Lil B kept chasing him and J Money was hit again multiple times. These shots, including one to the forehead, killed him. J Money being struck in the face is often disrespected by his ops.
On me, so I'ma chill. Phone stood over J Money and put four in his grill. For real.
Never like it, got it on me. You can catch all face shots like J Money.
The 11th of April 2014 was the late Bosstrell's birthday, and Tookaville members were having a party in his honour. That evening, King Von got in a car driven by Big A, another OBlock member, and the pair drove to 64th and Eberhard, where STL members used to hang out. There, they spotted K.I, FBG Butta, and another man standing on the street. Von hopped out the car and began calling them bitches before opening fire. All three were hit. K.I managed to stumble to a porch before collapsing and dying. Meanwhile, FBG Butta had his kneecap blown off. Multiple witnesses confirmed in police documents that Von was responsible, but he was still not charged due to lack of evidence. Crazily, Von would be interviewed in a documentary about K.I, with the documentary team not knowing they were talking to the girl's actual killer.
Yeah, I was trying to us. I was like, damn, you and shit.
The exact text was something along the lines of, when it's all over with, I'm gonna get up in you or something. Does that sound about right?
That sound raw, so yeah, I'll be saying raw. Yeah, I probably did say that. I called you, I talked on the phone too.
He also dissed K.I regularly. If you're enjoying the video so far, make sure you like and subscribe. If this video gets 500 likes, I'll continue the series looking at the deadliest gang beefs from around the world. No bodies dropped in the war for a few years after the death of K.I, but this changed on the 18th of July 2017. On this day, loads of STL members were having a party on the block. When OBlock and 600 heard about it, a group of members piled into an SUV. They pulled up to the party and multiple guys hopped out of the car. The group first shot Kobe Mack, an STLEBT affiliate, killing him instantly. They then turned their attention on FBG Duck's brother, Brick. Some members chased Brick down an alley where he attempted to hop a fence. But before he could get to the other side, he was shot repeatedly and killed. There's a very upsetting photo of Duck and his mom at the crime scene grieving. It is easy to forget that behind all these murders, there's a distraught family. Mama Duck confirmed a couple years later two of the people responsible for the double homicide, C-Murda from OBlock and Cap 12 from 600.
I was familiar with one of them because he was the brother of one of the guys who Duck dissed and did.
Gotcha.
And he was also implicated in the murder of my first son, Brick. So from me knowing that, it was very personal to this young man.
Another murder where the set responsible is unclear is the death of CantGetRight. When he died, OBlock did a lot of self-snitching. King Von tweeted this only a couple of days after GetRight's murder. Edogg was also subliminally dissing CantGetRight on Twitter. Along with this, Von went live the day after GetRight's death, dissing him.
Oh, can't get right. There you go. There you go. Right, cause I can't get right.
Alright, now, everybody, not at one time. What just happened?
He said, everybody don't speak at work.
Hold on. Who got killed, gang?
Yeah.
Can't get right, got killed.
Word.
Can't get right.
Hey, somebody show me a picture. I don't think I know y'all talking about.
Let's say drop a picture in the comments.
Show the first picture. They tell some can't get up. Oh,
They always make some what we do it. They beat us to it every time.
y'all should start killing people. Cause y'all be doing this. You doing the man.
Oh, Steve, this nigga crazy. He's doing y'all start killing.
But in more recent times, STLEBT members have said OBlock were not responsible.
To speak facts on my mama, y'all always talking about TY can't get right, and a lot more of the guys. Tell him who really knocked them down. Y'all around the niggas every day that really knock folks down, and this y'all homie. On my mama, boy, y'all around these people every day that killed that man. Ain't no ops did that shit.
And clown, only thing you said that was true, folk, that Parkway didn't do that. On the guys, they ain't do that, they can't get right, folk. That's the only thing that was accurate, folk. They came out your fucking mouth. And the motherfucker, one of the niggas that did that ain't here to talk about it. You talking about?
Instead, there's actually been suggestions that 051 Melly was responsible.
Y'all so concerned about can't get right and the Melly shit, man. Look, let me clear all this shit up, man. OBlock ain't do nothing that can't get right. Whoever did something that can't get right, they gone, man. That's all I'm gonna say to y'all. Rest in peace to Melly. Rest in peace to Can't Get Right, bro.
CantGetRight's relatives also said STL was cool with GetRight's killer after his death. This does fit the description of Melly because he was hanging with Duck, Cash and other STL guys right up until he died.
Alright, cool.
TQ was a younger OBlock member who was shot and killed in Fintown territory in 2019. TQ's death is often not mentioned when discussing OBlock vs Tookaville because he was allegedly killed by FBG Meezle, who people say was not a member of STLEBT. This is because he originally was a Fintown member, but if you look at his Facebook, it's pretty clear he was claiming STL too. Fintown and OBlock aren't into it, so TQ was killed because of OBlock's beef with STL. Meezle and TQ had also been beefing personally online in the days leading up to his death. After TQ's death, Meezle actually dissed him a few times. Meezle himself would later be killed in an unrelated incident in 2021. When he died, OBlock members implied he was behind TQ's death by posting TQ, basically saying Meezle's death was karma for killing TQ. The most recent death in the war is probably also the most famous, the murder of FBG Duck. On the 6th of August 2020, Duck was shopping for his son in the most expensive shopping area in Chicago, the Gold Coast. Unknown to him, he had been spotted by TZ, a member of THF 46, a set cool with OBlock. TZ knew Vaughn had 100k on Duck's head, so he rang OBlock members. Minutes later, CCTV shows OBlock members sprinting down the stairs in the complex and getting into two cars. These members were Muwop, Munna, C-Murda, Munna, C-Thang and one Dipset member, Kenny Mac. Munna and Kenny Mac drove the group to the Gold Coast where they spotted Duck waiting outside a shop. The four passengers hopped out with masks on and began shooting. Duck attempted to shoot back, but his gun jammed. As his attackers kept shooting, Duck was sadly killed. For well over a year, his killers were free, and they used that time to do an insane amount of self-snitching, like the infamous Bosstop interview.
Exactly. So do you got any, I don't want to, stir up nothing, but do you got any, thoughts, on FBG Duck, any thoughts on him? Did you know him?
Who, Duck?
Did you know him before, everything?
No like that. I don't know. On game. All I know, don't say about Troy or rest in peace, Duck. On game, he's like, you got anything about FBG Duck? You know what I'm saying? Don't say about Troy. That's it. Don't say about Troy.
Even in that clip, you can see Loco, a guy with him, tell Bosstop to zip his lips.
Get that guy over there. Whatever, you know me. Come on, man. Don't do that. Don't do that. You know I know that. Stop playing. Stop playing. Stop playing. Stop playing. Stop playing.
Or C-Thang's super obvious reaction to reading a comment on his Insta Live saying he murdered Duck.
They be saying all type of weird ass shit, bro. A real BDM Alabama, where that? You ain't never touched no poles. Yeah, you right. I didn't do shit.
Nigga said ain't never touched no pole, them bitches.
Ooh, I'm off this.
The hit was also pretty sloppy. For example, one of the cars used was registered in Munna's name. The sloppiness, combined with the self-snitching, made it inevitable the killers would get booked. and that's what happened in October of 2021. Duck's murder will hopefully be the last in the feud. Not one person has been found guilty of any of the 12 murders I mentioned in this video. The average age of the victims is 20. None of them got the opportunity to properly experience life. Most of the dead were born into poverty and never had a real chance to get themselves out of it. Without any proper investment into underprivileged areas, these young men will continue to have no real opportunities and nothing to lose. Rest in peace to everyone mentioned who has died.